outside, guys. All for you guys, all for you, all for you, all for you. It's sizzling out here. It's like 90. It's so humid. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's all for you. I almost got knocked out by a tree branch. Yeah. All for you guys. I'm putting a guilt trip on you guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All for you. I'm putting my lifeline on. I'm putting my life on the line for you guys. Out in these Rocklahoma elements. The heat. The fallen branches. The wildcats. The raccoons. The possums. The deadly spiders that are here. And there's Junior. There's Junior. If I can get Junior, and I can't get up. You know why? Because I have an ice pack on my back. What's up, Ryder? What's up? And I should ban you. I should ban you. Oh. Alright, wait, hold on. Here's a hug. Cyber hug before I ban you. Always good to see you. Oh, wow. Look at... What the... Because you didn't send me any peach jelly yet. Or you just left. No, Listen, Ryder, you should know me by now, okay? Believe me. I'll give it to you. But I'll pay you for the jam and stuff. Okay? That's no excuse, though. I'm sure somebody doxed me already. Oh, I will. No, I don't. Wait. Junior's... See, I can't get up. Right? I don't know if you can see Junior. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't... Man, hold on. I'm trying to... I think he's a juniper. And he's been staring at me. Or he was. No, well, that's... Wait, who is that? No, that's Lunar. There's another black cat named, Panther. But I think he injured his foot. So he's limping around. You know what? And I think Junior is Panther's son. I think daughter, actually. Because I saw Mama doing some nasty with Junior. Like, whatever. But it's hot out here, guys. I mean, hold on. It is really hot out here. I almost got hit by a branch. You know, Elliot. Come here, Junior. Come here. You keep looking over here. Yeah. I came to set up Elliot. And, this tree here, actually, with the, he needs to take this down, this old freaking punching bag. Yeah. So I got almost hit with a branch. But don't worry, guys. I have a hard head. A hard head. Okay? I'm sure nothing will have happened to me. Hard head makes a soft ass. You know? So, I'm not that worried about it, trust me. Um, so, shocking news. If you're into cooking, culinary arts, uh, um, if you're a fan of the Food Network, I am. I don't watch it that much anymore because I had no TV. Ann Burrell suddenly passed away this morning at the age of 55. Um, and she had a show on called The Worst Cook in America, right? The Worst Cook in America. You can tell it was scripted, and they had like a celebrity edition and all that stuff. She died in her home in Brooklyn, New York. Now they say, well, her sister put out the post or whatever, and that no cause of death was given. And I was like, oh, okay. It's either suicide or an overdose. I always think that, okay? But we don't know yet. But yesterday, she was supposed to be at a Second City improv show that she was learning how to do. I would love to do that. I think I would be great at improv. You know, because it's all about me. And I love to act and all that. I like to entertain people. Yeah. So she was 55, and like I said, she was supposed to be at a Second City like graduation show. They were supposed to put on, and a lot of people were asking, well, was she there yesterday? And also yesterday, June 16th, was my 38th wedding anniversary. You know, happy 38th wedding anniversary, Bear. Well, I should look down, Bear, and I hope he's in hell. Anyway, see, Junior just keeps looking at me. Oh, I know I would be. I would, and like a few years ago, when Xbox used to be fun. No, congratulations. No, it's not. No, I hope, yeah, okay. I hope he is in hell, okay? Because I'm sure his last breath was not about his kids. It was probably about, I can't wait to smoke pot with Jesus. Anyway, let that go there. I'm just saying. Now, Junior's coming up. Junior! No. Don't go up those stairs. Don't go up those stairs. Junior! No! Hold on. Oh, Junior. Watch. Now, if I go near him. Junior! I see you, Junior. Hold on. Let's go over there. You know, it's going to be a waste of time and all that. All right, let's go. Let's walk. And this is the branch that would have killed me, guys. All for you. All for you. Oh, now, yeah. See, I told you. Juniper, come here. I still see you. We still see you. Look at this. We can still see you. And you know what? These wires belong to the internet. And Jim has to fix this. But anyway. So he looks like Chips and he looks like Fluffy. And we had two kittens, two black kittens. I don't know where they went to. And I don't know if maybe the dog, I have no idea. Maybe they went back to Ann's house. I don't know. Ann's my, dead sister-in-law, who was the crazy cat lady, and I think I talked about her many times before on here, but I'm trying to... Here, let's just... I hope this whole stream isn't like being like Minecraft, like blocking and glitching and whatever. So here is one flower. Pretty nice, right? They're not as vibrant, though. They're nice. But, alright, let's go back because my back's starting to... progress with pain. And hopefully I don't get hit by a branch. Okay. Here we go. Oh my God. So I have, this is already melted. Yeah, they are. But they don't last long because I think either the deer eat them or something like that. But, yeah, this is already, crap. This has already melted. This has already melted. I'm not surprised at that. Oh. Yeah. But, it's a little cooler here in the shade. Not much. I actually wet down my hair so I look like a slacker. You know how that was back in the day, right? Just to give me some relief so I don't be hot-headedness, right? But yeah, what a shock with Amberelle. To me, she was like the Guy Fieri, like the woman version of Guy Fieri, and all that. I liked her. And I always thought she was, maybe gay. That doesn't matter here, neither here or there, okay? But I thought, but she wasn't. But, 55! And she lost weight, too. And I'm thinking, I wonder if it's Ozempic. Maybe she had gastric bypass surgery. or something, because last I went on Instagram and I saw her post, and she met up with the Green Lady of Brooklyn, and that was her last post like 4 or 5 days ago, and Brooklyn's in the house, baby. I used to hang out there. September what? My ex-husband's birthday was September 18th. The same birthday as Faith Hill. Faith Hill is the wife of Tim McGraw. You know, it's like whatever. It's like you can't be so like. I'll admit, September 6th. My grandmother's birthday was September 27th. You know what? But, you know, I will admit, guys, at times I do, when I hear about a death of a celebrity, you know, like say Ann Burrell was 55, or you know, like Brian Wilson's age was like 82. Sly from the Family Stone was 82. I think about, well, I never got along with Virgos so much. I had bad luck with men from Michigan. Okay? But my other ex from Michigan wasn't a Virgo. He was a Cancer. Go figure. His birthday was, I think, July 22nd. So, he was a Cancer. Little, yeah. But I have to be grateful for God that I made it to the age of 21. No, at the age of 54. Okay? I should have been dead years ago. But it does come up where if I hear about a death, say Ann's death, you know, from the Food Network, or another actor or a singer or whatever, or a friend that passed away a couple of years ago, or whatever, it makes me look at my life, you know, and Jim will tell you that, you know, and he doesn't understand this, where I'll watch funerals on YouTube. Not like, you know, say if it was Queen Elizabeth II, or President Bush, or Whitney Houston, or whoever else is I watched. Okay? It makes me learn about the other person, and it makes me look at myself, especially when you know, they, you know, the minister or the preacher or the pastor talks, you know, about them, or a life lesson during a sermon, you know. And it's all about history too. I watched Pope Francis's funeral too for, you know, until he got to the place where he was going to get buried. I just turned the whole darn thing off. But, you know, and believe me, when I was younger, I did not like to talk about death. Or, you know, if grandma and grandpa brought it up, or my mom brought it up, or whatever, I'm like, why do we have to talk about this? You know? All right. Thanks for dropping by. I'm going to stay out here for a little bit just to enjoy the sweatiness and the and the heat for now on for a little bit. But thanks for dropping by. And hopefully I will get to see you in about a half hour, 45 minutes or whatever, okay? When I'm melted in the heat, that's when I'll show up. Ow. Yeah. Cyber hugs. And I am gonna pay for it, okay? I'm not gonna let you off that easy. But so what else has been going on in the news? We're being drugged into a war, guys. Trump is flip-flopping. You know, and I guess the neocons that want the war to take place in the first place, like Leslie Graham, and they're getting their way. I don't want to talk about it. All our focus should be on the U.S. first. You know, you know, I think a lot of Trump supporters are very disappointed and angry at Trump by his actions, his current actions with the war between Israel and Iran. So, you know, it's all about the machine. It's not about us, guys. It's not about us. You know? In reality, they don't care about us. And I think the reason why they want this war, too, is to get Palantir to get started with all of us, with getting our information, all our data, and whatever. I think that's why COVID happened, to see who was compliant and who wasn't, and to get our data. That was step one. Now it's step two, right? You gotta think, guys. You can't be like, nah, that's so, you know, conspiratorial. No. You got it all wrong, Vic. Even what Bill Gates said in an interview not so long ago, where there's going to probably be another pandemic, or we should say pandemic, that we're not even ready for. And that's why I wish I was in my studio doing some of this so I could show you uh, the interviews with Bill Gates and all that. But I rather sit outside for you guys and sizzle and melt in this heat. Yeah, I need to. The reason why, excuse me, I'm out in the heat. It's just sit out here for a little bit, get some vitamin D, enjoy the outside. I'm being bitten by mosquitoes and ants are crawling on me. I was almost killed by a tree branch, and you know. So, what's the temperature in your neck of the woods? Right now, it's 90 in my neck of the woods. So, what's your temperature? Tell me. And actually, on the site Neighborhood or Neighbor or whatever that site is, it's supposed to be like Twitter. I mean, it's a crap site anyway, but a weather service announcement popped up saying that we might be getting tornadoes in our area. Okay. Well, it's bright and sunny, cloudy. It's not dark like how it gets. And all that. So hopefully, we won't be getting any tornadoes. That's the least of my worries anyway. Tornadoes. I don't get, What I am concerned about is the war between, Israel and Iran. You know? All I'm going to say to you guys is don't rely on the mainstream media like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC. Even Fox has their own issues, okay? But try to stay informed as best as you can. Knowledge is power. Don't let whatever is going on over there run your life over here. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you're at work, just keep working. If you're outside hiking, maybe taking a break and watching me, keep doing that. Just like 9/11, when 9/11 happened, you can't live in fear. You just have to keep going with your own lives and stuff. But life is good, guys. Life is good. You know, Junior hasn't come out of his hole yet. Or Juniper. Here's a little breeze going now. Doesn't mean anything, really. It doesn't really help with the heat. But how you guys doing? If you guys are struggling with life, depressed, you have high anxiety, maybe you're go. You're going through high anxiety, maybe panic attacks, struggling with addiction, alcoholism, you can always talk to me. I've been in recovery from crack and heroin since 2004, alcohol since 2011. My schooling is the School of Hard Knocks, and it took me a long way, many times to get where I'm at in my recovery. And I'm just grateful that I have a life here. You know, because I know I should have been dead years ago with the way my life was going. You know, and addiction, alcoholism takes you to three places, and it's jails, institutions, and death. And I already had my two, but I don't want to go through the third one just yet, because my life is just beginning. I'm enjoying my life. You know what I mean? And when I go like this, I'm not saying, fuck you. I'm saying, fuck my addiction. Excuse the language when I say that, but, if I kept using, I was really basically fucking myself up more and more, Life is beautiful. I mean, life isn't a bed of roses, and it's not easy. But if you have a good support system, if you go to meetings, if you go to counseling, you can manage your own life. you can manage mental health issues. I go through my depressions. I go through my anxiety. I go through panic attacks with my, issues or whatever. But I still feel like I have a good life with my husband. You know, it's all about coping skills. How you cope in life. And believe me, I wasn't coping with the drugs and alcohol. I was killing myself, little by little. And I see Panther out here. And I seriously think he did something to his one foot. He's having a hard time walking and stuff. And he'll just stare at me. And it's like he's been doing this for years. He's been out here for years. He's a feral cat. He's a stray cat. And he'll look at me, and I'm like, come on, Panther, come on. And he'll just scoot underneath the house or scoot away or whatever. And he's had a rough life, Panther. You know? So even though, like, Panther is feral and stray and, you know what, I still feel like he's our cat. And I'm sure Jim will agree with us, with me, where, he's our cat, just like Mama is our cat, just like Junior is our cat. We inherited all these cats from Anne and stuff like that. I mean, we didn't get all her cats, okay, but just a few. I don't know. And on Anne's property, my in-laws, allowed a guy to live on Anne's property. Well, it's actually Jason's property, okay? Now, and this guy has a dog. So I don't know if his dog killed the cats, all the cats, or whatever. I don't want to know because I'll really be upset. You know what I mean? And when I walked out of back door, Panther was there on the top step, and he saw me, and I'm like, Panther, and he just like, he looked at me for a little bit, and then he just went underneath the house. But he's hurting. Now, you can tell when a cat is hurting or whatever, because they lick themselves a lot, you know. And I I hear jet. Now it's gone away. Panther. Now watch. If I get up, oh, yeah, he's not putting hardly any uh, weight on his front left foot, and now he's gone over to my in-laws' house, my in-laws' house. It looks like it. So yeah. He was walking down the stairs very gingerly, like so. I wish I could do more for him, but I can't, you know. Only to feed him and give him water. But anyway, um, even though it's hot and humid out here, it's still nice, you know. So nice. I will be right back, guys. I have to put this back in the freezer, and I shall return. I shall return. There we go. And I'm back. I'm back. There you go. I'm back. Uh, whew. Hot time in the country, guys. Hot time, sizzling time in Hickville, Oklahoma. I just wish we had like a porch, uh, like with a couple rocking chairs, wooden rocking chairs, like you do see at, a lot of southern homes. You know, it is relaxing here. You know what? Underneath the canopy of tree branches, I'm hoping not another one's gonna fall down on me. You know, because that was just out of the blue. Whatever happens, happens. And when you're out here too, it's like, there's a lot of crickets, a lot of, a lot of noise going on in the background. You'd think it would annoy you, but it really doesn't. It's just like, it's all like the ambiance of this whole thing, you know? Except for me, getting hit by a branch. Oh, hey! How's it going, Leah? It's beautiful there. Love the new hair. No, I just wet. Yeah, right. No, I just wet my hair down, so it's a little bit cooler. You know, just to deal with the heat. I used to do that when I was in the band and stuff. Just wet my hair back and all that crap. You know. Yeah. Wait. Just getting ready for some rest. The sound is awesome. Much love back to you, Leah. Yeah, I mean, it's country, right? Where the cicadas, or whatever they're called, the bugs and the crickets and all this other crap is going on. I almost got hit by a freaking branch. Oh, good. Well, I hope. Yeah, it does. It does. I wish, like I could hike more and whatever. I'm starting to get out more and more. Okay, but sometimes my back will just, bundle up with pain and shoot up my back and forget it. Well, if you get your parts for your car, you can hop on, ride by Hicksville, Oklahoma. I went outside to wait in the atrium instead of the waiting room at the car place. So they're gonna do the lots of birds. There's a couple of birds over that area back of me. You know. But yeah, do you know? I have a joke for you. Do you know what the largest bird, the largest state bird in New Jersey is? Do you know the largest state bird of New Jersey is? Don't think too much and hurt yourself. Believe me, it's going to shock you. You don't? The largest state bird of New Jersey is. All right, I'll give you 3 seconds. All right. The osprey. No. Wrong. So just because you're wrong, I have to ban you. Now, all right. The largest state bird of New Jersey is the mosquito. I know people don't get it. I mean, they don't get it. I feel like the largest state bird of Oklahoma is the mosquito. Because I'm like getting bitten up here. You know what? We do have like this like Bluetooth bug zapper and stuff, and Jim hid those somewhere. I can't find them. So but so if you get your car going, now you can go to a lot of parks and just hike and all this stuff. Skeeter on your Peter. That's a good one. Yeah, the new tennis wand thing. No, I'm not talking about that. It's like a diffuser in a way. Believe me, you know what? You talk about ticks. I haven't had these many ticks on my body in all my life. And believe me, there was one tick around a certain area of mine, which I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This one, like a few years ago and stuff. Jim got a lot of ticks and all that stuff. And some of that bug spray and stuff doesn't work. Yeah, well, I try to like walk more and like stretch more and I tell you a story about my mom. I'll, hold on, wait. All right. So my mom, this is no joke. Okay. This is back in Jersey, and so when I was growing up. My mom and I and my best friend went hiking at a park right across the street from Valley View Middle School, right? We were going to walk around, the long way around the park, right? We were off the beaten trail, okay? Well, my mother had to go pee. So she went off in the woods and she squatted down to go pee. That night, when we came home, she had poison ivy up her cooch, her vajayjay, and all that stuff. And she had to go to the emergency room. No joke. It was terrible. They put her on like Benadryl and penicillin, and they put like that catamine lotion on. I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. It's embarrassing for her though, right? And it's embarrassing for her daughter to still talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, well, she had to go to the emergency room. But how embarrassing is that? They have a show, and they've had the show on cable for a long time, where Untold Stories from the ER. And I wish that, I'm sure they had something like that on there, right? About somebody getting poison ivy on their private parts or whatever. Yeah. They put her on Benadryl, too. But I've heard where people, I guess when they were little kids, they actually ate poison ivy and stuff, and they're not allergic to poison ivy. I mean, really? That's what I heard, okay? So don't eat poison ivy or anything. But yeah. Another thing that happened to my mother was when I used to play baseball, Little League Baseball, boys Little League Baseball, not softball for girls, not Little League Baseball. My friends and I used to go up to the old Main Street School and play baseball. Right? And I used to hit home runs over the roof of the old Main Street Baseball and all that stuff, right? Much love back to you. Boop. Yeah. So, my mom used to be permanent pitcher, okay? So if it was like, say, 3 of my friends and I, and then, and then she would just be permanent pitcher. She wasn't on either side, right? So my best friend Sheila, okay, my best friend Sheila hit her. My mom pitched the ball and hit her right in the JJ, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And she got a bruise there, and my friend Sheila was like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry," and too bad, we didn't have the video of it where we could put it on like America's Funniest Home Videos or whatever. Yeah, but that's another instance that happened to her down there. something, and you might think, oh, what a rotten door I am. I think, in a way, like, some of us were like, and then when she was really down, like, really hurt, like, yeah, we were, like, really concerned and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, right. Right. But she still uh, pitched for games after that, and she wasn't close either. She wasn't as far as, like, on a regular, where a baseball mound is to the plate or anything, but it was like, you know, and then whack! Oh my God. And then my best friend was like, "Don't get mad at me, Vicky. Don't get mad at me. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I'm sorry." It was baseball, not softball. Little League baseball. Boys baseball. I was the second girl in 10 years to make it to the majors in boys Little League baseball in Denville, New Jersey. I was the first girl to make it to the seniors in boys Little League baseball in Denville, New Jersey. And I'm proud of it. And they were actually scouting me for the Babe Ruth League and everything. My dream before me going to the dark side of things, I wanted to be the first woman on the Yankees, New York Yankees. That was my dream. But when I realized that wasn't really gonna, happen, I ended up being a Satanist. I'm pretty much like, rock and roll, baby. Color guard was awesome. I picked up rifle, got to the triple spin challenging. Well, I met a lot of baseball players. I met Bucky Dent, who was the shortstop for the Yankees. I met Willie Randolph, who was the second baseman for the Yankees. I met Reggie Jackson, oh my God, I loved Reggie Jackson. Now he's very arrogant, and he owns a NASCAR team. He owns he owns a race team and stuff, right? Yeah, I know what it's like, baton twirling. I did that when I was a little kid. I took classes in the summer. Yeah. I was in the Denville String Band, where we actually did parades. I was the drummer. I switched from flugel to the drums because, I wanted to pound my heart out. Yeah. And the Denville String Band is still going today. They usually do the what they call the mums, like the mum parades and stuff. It's like where you get dressed in like feathers, and you dance around, and you play whatever and stuff. It's still going on today in Denville String Band. And they have the biggest Mum Parade in Philadelphia. Every New Year's Day, they have it. Yep. When I was in the hold on. When I was in the Dental String Band, we had to raise money for the band, right? So they made these coupon books, so you can sell them. You sell them for, like, say, $5 for a whole book of coupons, right? For Burger King, right? And I won a trophy this big. Well, you can't. This big and all that stuff. And I won. I think like 361 books I sold or whatever. I actually have. I don't have the trophy with me, but I did have the plaques from the trophy. So yeah, but my mom used to, like, sell them at Aircraft Radio. I used to go around the neighborhood and try to sell them. Okay, and sell them to my teammates' parents or whatever. I did some work, and then my grandfather got involved in it. And all that, right? And he sold some, but yeah. But this one girl, I think her name was Julie or something, and they were trying to say that she sold the most and all this stuff, and so there was, like, a war going on with me and her, like, whatever. Okay, I'm not, so it's like, a push to really, draw up with the ticket sales, or the coupon sales and stuff like that, and I won. And when they announced, that I was the winner, she was like, she actually threw down her little trophy. That's how much of a fucking brat she was. And I'm like, whoa, that's just, And it turns out to be the people that ran the Dental String Band. I don't think they're involved in it anymore. It was my mom's neighbors where she was growing up in Morristown. She broke the whole trophy and everything. Dented the whole, how these trophies are. They're not, very sturdy. And she stormed out and, all this crap. Oh, Vicky's a jerk. She cheated. She's a cheater. Oh, whatever. I mean, really? I left that band anyway. The string band and stuff. I was like, I've had enough. At least I got a trophy out of it. Yeah. But it was my mom's when she was growing up in Morristown, New Jersey. All right, they lived in an apartment, or sort of like a mother-daughter house. Like it was like, and the owner of that house was, the coordinator for the Dental String Band and stuff, and I forget their name. So they were the landlords. Like her parents were the landlords of my grandparents. Like, you know, yeah. But I earned all my trophies and game balls and all that. You know, not like some 90s kids where they just like had participation trophies and like my son Sean, like he had participation trophies or participation game balls or whatever. There's a few that he did own though. Okay, my son was good. Okay, um, you know, uh, but the last year he broke his wrist by sliding into the home plate, and he wanted to quit baseball altogether. He didn't want to do fall ball anymore or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so my mom had all his baseball coaches come to the house and try to talk him back. And then the baseball again? Isn't that? Oh my God. But that's how my mom was. And he's like, no, maybe next year. And when a kid says maybe next year, I just want a break from whatever, he's never going to go back. You know what I mean? Or like in the 90s and stuff in Pee Wee League, you know, that's where, you know, it's like the first team you're ever on, and it's T-ball, and it's like, you know, everybody wins, you know, no team was a loser or a winner. You know, everything was tied. Bullshit! You have to teach these kids, you know, there's winning to a game and there's losing to the game. And you have to be a good sportsman and shake their hands and say, good game, and all this crap. These kids, instead that even play these video games, like COD or whatever, they talk trash and whatever. And it's like, where's the sportsmanship? You know? Apparently they, you know, grow up in team sports like I did. You know? And I'll admit I was serious with games sometimes on Xbox or whatever, but I wasn't so outrageous or obnoxious, you know, when it comes to that. I think we all do that with video games, you know, but it takes the fun out of it, you know. Yeah, I mean, when I was on drugs, I still thought about like, the Yankees. Well, I don't like the Yankees now, by the way. I don't watch baseball period anymore. I wonder why. I do watch, and you guys, if you're not into sports or you're not into baseball or anything, check out Savannah Bananas. They are fun. They are bringing back the fun back into baseball. It's like a baseball circus, and it's a lot of fun. And they're on YouTube. And I found them, and about a couple of months ago or a month ago, I said, honey, look at this, right? And he's like, what's this? Because he's like, I'm not into baseball or anything. I said, no, they're bringing back fun into baseball again. They're the Savannah Bananas. And so he sat and watched the whole game with me. There's different rules and stuff with their kind of baseball, okay, but it's fun, and so we were watching it together, and I'm getting into it like, oh wow, he's struck out, oh look at that catch, oh, and all that stuff, right? And I actually began to cry, and I'll tell you why. My best memories of growing up is all about baseball. And there's other times like, Christmas time or Thanksgiving or, building forts with my friends or jumping off of ramps or what, but it's baseball. Because for the longest time, baseball was my life. And I got screwed from Valley View Middle School when it comes to that, whatever. But I just found out too that my best friend's mother passed away, I guess a couple weeks ago. And my best friend, not Sheila, but Rich, actually killed himself. Way back when. And that was actually my first wake I ever went to. And Mr. Cook, he was like a dad to me. And his other son, Tim, was, his other son, Tim, I used to be friends with and whatever. And Mr. Cook was a part of my Hospitality Kitchens, Dental Auto Parts, Cars Getty. No, wait. No, not Dental Pharmacy. No, but we grew up together, right? And so Mr. Cook was an alcoholic. Now, I've mentioned Mr. Cook on this channel a lot of times. He was like like a father figure to me, right? He got himself sober. We all knew he was a drunk. And so, and there was times when we were in baseball, right? Like, especially if we were in Pee Wee League or the minors, right? We had to get up at 7:30 in the morning. This is 7:30 in the morning to go down to Gardner Field and help clean up, the water, like to sop up the water off the field so we can play. And Mr. Cook was even drunk back then, that early in the morning. Okay? I even went to baseball camp. Anyway, all right, so but what was funny to me was when Rich passed away, when he hung himself, and all that, I still remember, looking at Rich, and you could tell his neck was broken, whatever. And then I went to Mr. Cook and Mrs. Cook, and he looked like he was just, he was devastated. He just lost his kid. He lost Rich, his oldest son, right? But I thought he was drinking then. He told me years later he was sober. It was all the devastation and just him losing his son and all that stuff. But he was actually sober. So when I remember when I was on Dental Pharmacy and stuff, you know, he was on the other team on George Pharmacy. And oh what who was that? Oh, Mark? No. Well, anyway, it was like a scrimmage, okay, between Dental Pharmacy, us, and George Pharmacy. So, Mr. Cook was right by the dugout and stuff, and the coach told me it's your turn to get up, get ready, right? And I was about 9. I'm trying to think, 9, about that, 9 years old or whatever, right? Okay. So, he said, all right, get ready, warm up, whatever. And Mr. Cook was right there, okay? And he says, hi, Vicky, how you doing, honey? And all that stuff, right? And so I'm like, oh, I'm fine, and you know what he did, Mr. Cook? I could kill him for it. All right, I'm just saying that, all right. So here I'm warming up, and stuff, and so I forget who was up before me. So I got up, and he told the pitcher, strike her out. And I'm looking at Mr. Cook like, what? I thought, even though he was on my team for, a couple of years ago past, right? I'm looking at him like, and they're like, because I'm the only girl on the league, okay, in the league. I was the only girl on that field, okay? And here they are. I swear, they're like, before they pitched the ball, they were, shaking their tushies and stuff, right? And here Mr. Cook was like, strike her out. And I'm like, that was no match for me. I swung that bat, hit that ball straight over the center field fence on Field 1, Gardner Field. And almost broke a windshield. Okay? Thank God it didn't happen. So I'm running around the bases and whatever. I'm like, I stop down home plate. And here's Mr. Cook. And he says, good shot, hon. I knew you can do it. I'm like, well, why did you just say, strike her out for? Because he knew what he was doing. He knew what I was capable of. So that was, to me, So years passed and stuff, and of course I got into drugs and whatever, and I actually met Mr. Cook and Mr. Brennan, who was another baseball coach of mine, at a meeting. And I was so embarrassed and stuff. And Mr. Cook says, opened up his arms, and he says, we were wondering when you were going to come. I'm like, what? They knew I was, Tim and I, his son, we broke our friendship because of the people I was hanging out with and whatever. So I'm sure he told his dad and mom and all this stuff. And my mom went to tough love meetings, right? And saw Rebecca there, Tim's mother, Mr. Cook's wife there, at these tough love meetings at our church, actually, Church of the Savior in Denville. They don't have tough love meetings there anymore, and whatever. And so fast forward to everything and stuff. So I found out a couple days ago that Mrs. Cook passed away. Um, when Mr. Cook died, I wrote a whole thing about that incident with me hitting the home run over the center field fence in Gardner Field and stuff like that. And I want to say something to her. I want to say something to the family because so much to me in my life, especially in recovery. I mean, I went to like a big party in Newton or around that area in New Jersey, and they were there, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, "What?" And they were shocked too that I was there. Like, hey, you're trying to get your life together. That's great. Yeah. And of course I, went right back into it. But, so I really have to sit down and I want to say something. I didn't say anything to my mother about this. And all that. Well, I didn't know about it until, a couple days ago. But I really want to say something to my mom about it, but I don't. Life goes on, right? I feel like it's only right. She was actually at our school in Riverview. She was like, when we went out for recess, she was a school aide and stuff. I still remember her puffy blue jacket she used to wear. Like, so that brought up a lot of memories for me. With baseball, with tough love meetings, with my mom, with her, whatever. And I haven't talked to Tim in years and stuff, But I'm sure all that's forgotten. Maybe not. I don't know. But, when you grow up, none of that matters. None of that matters. We're just kids. Yeah, I really, with my addiction and with the people I hung out with and the band and all this other crap, I really burned a lot of bridges with. Yeah, but I don't know where Tim lives. I mean, that's why they had tribute walls on funeral home sites, and all that stuff. She meant a lot to me, and I know she meant a lot to my mother. Because of the tough love group and stuff. And she even my mom even told me, she wasn't really supposed to. told me that Mrs. Cook was there at her first Tough Love meeting. Like, when my mom went to her first Tough Love meeting, guess who showed up? Or who was there? It was Mrs. Cook. And so when Mr. Cook, when I met him at an AA meeting in my hometown and said, we were waiting for you, we were wondering when you were going to show up, that's when I got so embarrassed and whatever. My mom knew what I was, and then, along with my other baseball coach, Mr. Brennan. I even told my mom at one point, I said, if I die, I don't know what made me say this to her and stuff. I said, when I die, I want to be buried underneath the pitcher's mound on Field 1 in Gardner Field. I don't know why, not now. Yeah. So anyway, check out Savannah Bananas Baseball YouTube channel. Even if you're not a sports fan, where it's like a baseball circus, And you can ask Jim. When we were watching, the game, and I've been watching the games when they come out. I actually cried because I miss baseball. If you ask me, who's on, who's the first baseman of the Yankees or whatever, I couldn't tell you. But back in '77, I could tell you who was the first baseman of the Yankees in 1977. Chris Chambliss. And I think his number was number 5. Thurman Munson, who was the catcher in 1977. What's up, Jay? But I don't know who's on first. Yeah, Abbott and Costello. How's it going, my friend? Made a difference to you. Super cool. Yeah. Abbott and Costello, the comedic sketch of who's on first never gets old. It's such a classic. But I knew all the, and I'm being serious, I knew all the players' numbers and positions and names of the 77 Yankees, the 1978 Yankees, the 1979 Yankees. Ron Gentry, he was the pitcher. His number was number 49. Greg Nettles, he was the third baseman on the Yankees, and his number was number 9. Mickey Rivers, he played center field. He was 1, the number 1. Yeah, well, thanks for showing up. I truly appreciate you. Get some rest. Have dreams about nature. Much love right back to you. They are fun. Especially when they dance, right? And they do flips in the air before the ball and everything. I hope they come to Tulsa. I hope they do. I would love to see them in Tulsa. So, Jamie, what's up with you? I haven't seen you in a few days. Cheers, guys. Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen. Hell yeah. Yeah, I was just talking about baseball, and I found out, you know, a long-time family friend. I didn't write anything on her yet, and I really want to. But life is still good. Life is still good. It's hot. I almost got killed by a falling branch from this tree here. Like this tree right there. But I do have a hard head, so I don't think it would do any damage, though. I'm getting bitten up a lot here. But life is so good. Life is beautiful. I personally don't care about what's happening in Israel and with Iran. America's first. It should be first. They had this conflict so many times. Okay? And it's them. That's how they are. So let them be. And I hate to say this, guys. I hate to say this. But if they want to kill themselves off, let them. That's all I'm saying. I don't like innocent lives being killed over there or whatever. But if their governments want to kill themselves off, let them. I know it might sound ignorant for me to say. Okay? I understand that. But America comes first. We have so much stuff that's happening here, okay? That's why I always tell you guys, stay away from the white noise. Don't get sucked into the darkness. Be informed. With the right resources, I'm not talking about mainstream media or whatever, or Twitter, or Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. Stay informed and just go on with your own lives. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So, anyway. I hope, last night I didn't go back to my studio to see if my cam worked. I didn't install Streamlabs and reinstalled it to see if my cam would work back then. With that, I just watched YouTube and then I went straight to bed. So maybe tonight I'll do that. And maybe I'll work on some videos. I haven't even been like making shorts or anything. You know? I made shorts, but I haven't put them out. You know? I don't know why. I just, whatever. So, it's getting a little cooler here. Not much. But thanks for joining me on my stream, guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Just by you being here is enough. If you are struggling with drugs and alcohol and or mental illness, you can always pick up your phone, dial 988, and talk to a trained counselor from the Crisis Lifeline. They are trained. They're on call 24/7, 365 days a year, even holidays. And it's free and confidential. 988. And if you don't want to talk to 988, you can always come here to talk to me on the chat about anything, about recovery, about mental illness, about your struggles. Here's my helping hand. Grab it. I'll help you in any way I can. I'll help you in any way I can. You know what? How about you and I get up and go for a walk? We're not going for a walk back there because I only have flip-flops on. But let's walk. Hold on. Oh, my back. Oh. Woo. I'm here. Okay. So let's take a walk. See, there's still remnants of the wildfire and stuff. But I think that's the branch that almost killed me. That's the branch. So, alright. So let's take a walk. Take a walk. That's my husband's grandfather's house. And I hear thunder. And I don't know if you can see through the trees. You see a backhoe. They're trying to redo my neighbor's whole property so he could actually rebuild his house again. But that's Jim's grandfather's house. It's not in the family anymore. So, oh hi, Panther. Oh, Panther. Panther. All right. So I'm going to turn on my American flag. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it lit up? Not much. I got that about a couple years ago. And I told Jim, I said, why don't we put it right there so people know that we're proud of being Americans. We are patriots in our own right. And I think it's perfect there. So, all right. So I'm walking around the best way I know how. And all that. I think we're gonna do is it's getting dark. I'm back. So, yeah, I hear thunder. Oh, you hear that? I'm trying to look where that. It's right about over there. Maybe he's chirping to let other birds know, saying, "There's a thunderstorm coming. Take cover." Yeah, he's running around the area, like right around the area. Like I don't. No, he's not doing anything. He's not chirping. Chirp! Chirp, 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 chirp. Oh well. He shut up. Anyway. So, what's going to happen is I'm going to have a cigarette. I'm going to have a swig of my Java Monster. Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen. Hell yeah. I actually went on Instagram and now you can see the clouds. They're getting darker. So maybe that weather alert on that site, neighborhood or neighbor, whatever it's called, is right. Watch me get struck by lightning. That would be a shocking experience, wouldn't it? I have stories about thunderstorms, lightning storms, but yeah, it's yeah, it's gonna rain. I don't know about having a tornado though. But even though I feel very sticky and like just hot and sweaty and just I'm getting bit by a lot of mosquitoes. I'll tell you that much. Um, um, just by being out here for a little bit is good for my mental health and recovery. When you really think about it, you know. I've been trying to get out of the house every day. And it doesn't have to include streaming either. Just by getting out of the house, sitting down, enjoying the sounds, enjoying the smells, or just, just being out here, outside. And when the sun's shining, get some vitamin D, get some color, you know. Yeah, but what a shocker about like Ann Burrell. You just never know, folks. You don't know. You don't know when your time's up. You know. That's another thing too. By the way, uh, my husband's co-worker, George. Uh, I found out this today. Uh, Jim's co-worker, George, who actually Jim picks up and gives him a ride to work. Uh, he found out on Friday, I think, that his cancer has come back. So please have your thoughts and prayers go out to George, my husband's co-worker. I think on either on Thursday or Friday he has to go to Oklahoma City. I guess that's where they have the cancer center. Yeah, he has to go there and treat it. So my thoughts and prayers go out to George and his family. I hear a jet coming from. I can't see it. I can't turn around. It sounds like it's coming closer. Yeah, I don't know. About a month ago, 2 months ago, when my doctor called me about my CT scan, about my lung CT scan, and said I have two, nodules on my lungs, and oh, don't worry, they're not, uh, they're not malignant, they're not benign. Don't worry, they're just there, whatever. And that scared the crap out of me. Apparently not. If I'm still ordering cigarettes from the internet, uh, and have I slowed down some? Yeah, I think I have. Well, that's my opinion. Now, if you ask Jim this, he's gonna say no, but I think I have. You know, I'm looking into getting a device called Fume, and it has no nicotine, and it's like, like a wooden cigar with, you know, it looks like a Tiparello cigar, wooden cigar, and you put, these flavors into a cartridge and stuff. And tell me people don't tell me. Go to Fume's site, right? FUM, right? People probably use it for smoking pot. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic here. But anyway, so they have these like different flavors, and you put them in the cartridge and whatever, right? And I was thinking about that, but the whole thing costs like $169 or something. They had a Father's Day special, but not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. I don't know if I'll be able to really quit smoking. You know? I don't know. My father didn't. My mom was forced to quit smoking in the nursing home. I wonder if they gave her a patch at first. I mean, you know, I don't bring up, when I call my mother, I don't talk to her about, like cigarettes or smoking cigarettes or, don't you wish you had a cigarette? Or what, I don't talk to her about that because I don't want to set her off. Like, and she has early stages of COPD. My friend Kathy, who I used to use with, and I used to, there's thunder. God's moving his furniture around. My friend Kathy, I used to use with her brother Mike too, and he died of AIDS. Anyway, no, I'm sorry, he didn't die of. His wife died of AIDS. Mike actually was at the soup kitchen. He was so freaking drunk he, flipped over uh, a railing, waiting for to get into the soup kitchen in Dover, and something. He died. But Kathy had severe post. She had COPD, and she was in the hospital for 5 years. 5 years, okay, in Dover General. 5 years, and she used to go through panic attacks too when we were together. Like if she couldn't breathe, she would have panic attacks and all that stuff, and she would be rushed to the hospital and all that stuff. But her COPD got so bad where she ended up, I think, on one of the top floors in Dover General, where it was like respiratory rehab, and they had to put something in her trach and all that stuff. And oh my God, there's some times where the alarms would go off. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, she can't breathe, and it seemed like the nurse took so long to get to her, and I was like freaking out, and she, but she was tired at the end, and she passed away. Yeah. For 5 years, she was in the hospital. And what got me was when she was in the hospital, I went to visit her, and a psychiatrist or a counselor came by, right? And Kathy couldn't talk, okay? She could whisper, like, but she couldn't talk with that thing in it, And so the counselor comes in, and she said, "Hi, Kathy. How you doing?" "Okay. You feeling okay?" I'm like, and 5 minutes. That counselor was with her for 5 minutes. And she walked out, and I said, "What the hell is that?" And Kathy said, "Rick," she's like, don't say anything. And then, when I walked out of the room, so we were going to leave, here's the counselor at the nurse's station writing something in her notes, in Kathy's notes. Like, what? You asked her one question. "How you doing, Kathy?" And you're going to write a whole freaking paragraph about that? Yeah. But anyway, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the house and think about what we're gonna do. I really want to go back to my studio and install Streamlabs and see if I can get my cam working. Because I really want to make videos. If not, oh well. I don't know what's going on with the cam situation, right? So with that, guys, thanks for joining me on my stream, guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. You. If you're struggling with a crisis, if life's dragging you down, if you're struggling with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, uh, struggling with alcoholism or addiction, you can always talk to me on here. If not, you can please call 988. 988 is a crisis suicidal lifeline. Trained counselors are on call 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, even holidays. And what's best out of them all is it's free and confidential. So please dial 988 if you need to. Don't be ashamed for asking for help. You're not weak for asking for help. You're trying to get yourself better, to live life instead of just existing and floating around. You want to make a change for yourself. I'm here for you guys. I'll always be here for you. You know, I stream because I want to help people. I don't do it for any other reason. And that's been my mission ever since Mixer. So, be the light of the world. Don't get sucked into the darkness. Do something for somebody. Even if it's just to talk to people. Talking is for free, guys. And I'm not talking about texting. I'm actually saying talking to people. Because you never know, it could just change everything in their life. Well, some things in their life, just like because they know somebody cares, right? So, with that, I'm Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters. And hey, I wasn't hit by a branch or anything. How about that? Phew. That's always a plus, right? I'm Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters, and I'm signing off. Take care, guys. Be the light, not the darkness. Don't get sucked in to the white noise. Do your own research. And I'm out. Bye, guys. Until next time.